And the scariest thing about last night was because I left that door open so I could run back because I was scared I might have to run from him really fast. That little kitten come out. Dissa came running out. She comes running over here. He's hanging up there on the curtains. In fact, he tore that curtain. I can see it now. It's got a tear in it. And she comes running out, and I had to snatch her up, and then she tried to run from me over this direction toward the fireplace. Isn't it crazy how fast things that were clean and put together and all that starts looking like that again? Okay, well, a lot of that came off the top of the refrigerator. Do y'all see that board right there that's not the normal color of the rest of the cedar that was used? Because the other night I came out here and there was a coon on this porch, and that is where he went out. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? He went out right behind that little scrap piece was a bigger hole, and he went out that. But I put this one up here. I'd put one there a long time ago for the cats, because I had a couple of cats that would come up that corner, and I see all that's closed in now. Cats don't really do that, but they were coming up that post, and they would climb in right there. And it wasn't a very big gap, but it was enough that they would come in. You know, cats, I just got a meme the other day, or a reel or whatever, that said something about cats being like liquid, and they kind of are. So last night, I did this a couple of days ago, and then last night I come out. Okay, so let me show you what I've been doing. I've been cracking this door right here. This is the door that goes into the little mud room. And the cats, since all the Christmas and stuff, I've got their tree here. I keep the food still up top. And I've been propping it open with this antifreeze bottle, so they can come out here on the porch or come in the house. And no air is escaping because I've got a quilt hanging in that doorway, which is the laundry room in there. There's the washer and dryer on the other side of that door, that doorway. So anyway, I come out to close this door because I really can't get to it from in there with that tree there. And he was in here. So I chased him out and I fixed it. So then I come out last night because Rohan was out here asleep, and I thought, well, I'm going to bring him in the house and close this door again. And he was in here again. So this time I stood right here. I was scared to death. I'm not lying. I left that door open so I could run. Now, I know that he's a coon and he's not really going to chase me, but that's not in your head when it's dark out and he's running around in here. He runs up and he tries to go back out where he came the other night, but he couldn't get back out. So I'm thinking, where did he come in at? Because in his franticness, he was trying to get back out a way that I know he didn't come in last night. So he walks down the curtain rod, and every now and then he stops and looks at me, and I stomp my foot like that, and he starts walking. Then once he slipped, and I started to back, I'm going to get ready to run. But he catches himself, and he comes on. He went out that little slit right there. I've got bird blocks up there. And I told Mom, I said, I wish I had a tape measure in here. I don't have it amongst all this stuff. I don't have a tape measure in here. Okay, let me just show you okay, I don't know how many of you guys keep staplers like these guys right here. This staple set thing right here goes in this smaller gun, okay? This goes in this gun. This is the full length of one. It has not been broke. I can't even get up here because I'm too short. Look at that. Look at that. It's not even the length of the staple. It's not even the length of the staple in the up part of the little tin grooves. Look. How he did it, I don't know. Evidently coons are like liquid too, because he come down to right there and his head went through, then the rest of his body went through, and he jumped down on the deck. So then that made me wonder, well, that thing's in here now. So if he came in here, which means somewhere amongst all this lattice that I thought was completely closed up. And I remember I had one cat coming, and he was coming in down in that corner back behind there, and I fixed that. So somewhere else, because he's not on this deck, he didn't live out here all day. He was left, because I heard him going shuffling under the porch last night after he left. So he's getting on in this room now. He may originally tried the other, but he can't get in up here anywhere either. Now, he might be coming up the wire and coming in those, because those are just as high as this one in here is. But I feel like he came from underneath down there. Anyway, it was a spooky situation. I'm fixing to feed these guys. I gotta get my boots on. Rubber boots over here. I'll put these fuzzy ones on because I can, since I'm in a hurry and I just want to get it. It's cold. It's cold and wet. So wet makes it even colder than cold. You know, I don't know. It makes sense. It's just a wet cold. It's a nasty kind of cold. Anyway, I'm going to coax Molly back out. I see some of my goats, I think, still up on the hill up there. They haven't come down yet. But it's almost 5. It's going to be dark not too long from now. And I wanted to get them all fed now so I don't have to mess with it once it's actually dark. But Molly, you're gonna have to go under your, see, yesterday she wasn't up yet. Now she's already up, so I need to get her back out that gate and into that other section. That's gonna be kind of a chore. All right, let me get this done. All right, you can see, well, Molly just got through eating. Big man's over there eating. Bilbo looks like he's done, which is ridiculous. Molly just tried to come to that other stall and realize it's fence there. What's ridiculous with these goats is they all would fight her off, right? Like, they would fight with her to get food. And yes, she's bigger and she would fight back. But tonight, all they had to do was fight over 2 of these feed barrels by themselves. No cow involved. And he done gave up over there. I don't know how much he got before he gave up, but I'm not worried about him so much. This gate is wet and sticking. Anyway, I'm gonna get over here and open this gate now so she can come back in. It wasn't really as hard as I thought, because when he seen me up here, he came. So basically, you know, you've seen him in videos before. Sam's he runs them all out. So when they all ran out that way, I come through that gate as fast as I could to get ready to close this one. Now she will come in and she will see what she can get left out of those goats' food. I've got to get this slack better. Come on, Molly. She'll see what she can get out of their stuff. I'm gonna go out here and unlock this gate so they can all do. Bilbo, baby, you walking with Mom? Hi, sweet man. I do need to get a cattle panel. Hurry up and get a cattle panel on that hay thing over where their hay is, because the goats are wanting to climb on it. In all honesty, if it wasn't for food, I wouldn't care if they climbed on it. But goats pee and poop wherever they feel like it and wherever they're at, and it doesn't matter, they just do it. So I don't want them, see, he just went up on top. I think that's Pippin. I don't want them up there pooping and peeing. So I'm gonna have to get that squared away. And I still, because it was so cold and rainy all day, I haven't picked up anything out here. It just looks like kind of like a construction zone. I don't like to leave, I mean, none of them have screws or anything in them. I don't like to leave stuff like that. But at this point right now, It's just been too cold and wet to worry about it. Let me pick up these two boards. Toss them over. Mama's been sick, but she's on the mend. She said her head's never been as bad as it is. No, Katie, you're not going in there with them. As it is right, as it has been. And even after they put her on that, it's like a Z-Pack or whatever, you know, you take 4 one day, then you take 3 and all that mess. All right, everything's done. Whew, Katie, you still have food in your bowl unless you knocked it over. I know you do. I don't even see your bowl, Katie. Where's your bowl? Oh, I see it. It's just dark in there. Look how dry. You can see here where the rain has, that's wet and that's dry. So she's got a nice dry. That's what I've said about this barn for years and years. It doesn't matter how it's sinking or how it looks and the spider webs and all that kind of stuff. This barn doesn't leak. Rain may water, heavy water flow. Oh, I left an egg right here. Heavy water, if it's a heavy rain, will flow from the road down underneath my carport, underneath my shop, and it'll eventually it'll just run. I don't know if y'all can see through this wire over here. Katie, don't stop in front of me, Katie. You can see all that wet is just running back behind, and that's what it's always done. Right now we haven't had heavy. It's, you know, it's a little bit of rain, then it stops, a little bit of rain and stops. So nothing's running, so the barn is staying dry. But that's one of the reasons why I want her to do that, just in case the heavy rain did come. She can lay in hay and stuff and should be fine. Goats really don't like to lay on the ground, but they're sure not going to want to lay on the ground if it's wet. So that's why I built that little step up for her. So she's still got lots of food. Minky, meet me at the front porch. Anyway, I'm going in. Pick up this trash. So everything worked out pretty good. Molly was able to eat her full dinner with no fighting. She actually finished before Big Boy did. So even if there was a chance, it looks like she eats faster than him, even though supposedly he's a fast eater. Maybe he just ate way faster than Willow did, because he's still back there eating, and Molly's already done. And she had 2 pounds of feed more than he did. So anyway, I'm going in. I'm gonna have to figure out at some point where I think that coon is coming from. This is the thing. If I have to get more pickets on the inside and go even higher in between, I can show y'all. My leg has just been off and on lately doing some weird stuff. Oh, he ate an egg right there. He did find that egg. I had one egg. I had sat. Yeah, it was right there. He got it. Okay, so see how this was a picket, and I sat the board up there, took my pencil and made notches with my pencil. Then I took it down and I cut it. I did it on every one. I thought, honestly, it's never let a bird in, so I thought I was blocking my bird blocks, but it's evidently not enough. Evidently, not for a coon. It's not enough. So, whew. Levi has a doctor's appointment Monday. I'm changing doctors. I'm not going to use... You know, Levi and I have been using the same doctor for years. I'm not going to use him any longer. Okay, I sat down. So anyway, I have to, I'm going to use somebody different from now on. But Levi has a disappointment. Levi has a doctor's appointment on Monday. And when we get back from that, I'm going to work. I may do a little bit tomorrow. It depends on how cold and rainy, because it's supposed to be cold and rainy tomorrow too. But I'm going to fill in all these up here, I guess, to keep him completely from coming on the porch. I think it's the cat food. So I have cans, but I just few days ago opened a new bag of cat food, and I didn't put it in the can. So I guess they're smelling it. I don't know. I think he's the same one that was getting into my barn. I don't know if I did a video on it or not, but I was noticing well, he tried to make out. Okay, well, he did get the lid off of some nay nibblers one day and ate almost the whole thing until his body wouldn't fit in. So there was only like a few, like right on the bottom of the bowl of the jug that he didn't get to. And then I bought another thing of nay nibblers. They had never been opened, and he carried them off the shelf and across the barn, and they were right as you go out the barn door. I guess he realized they were too heavy to carry uneaten. You know, they were all in there. It's never been opened before. Plus, it would have been really hard to open a new, because, you know, they're a little bit tighter when they're brand new, the lids. Anyway, but I think a couple of times I noticed that my lid, I kept thinking, did I leave that lid off like that? But I kept noticing the lid on the feed barrel thing off. And so now I tie it down. Well, I was finagling something with that saddle rack, sort of sliding it over, and it just barely covers the top of the feed barrel, so it wouldn't allow the lid to come up. But that's too much. I'm dragging it around all the time. So I just got some hay string and tied the lid on both handles, tied the handles down, the lid to the handle. So now when I go out to get feed, I only untie one side, and then the other one just sort of it's almost like a hinge, if you would think like that. It lets the lid flop, but it doesn't fall off. It just hangs off to the side. Then when it's time, I just pull it back over, and I only have to tie one side back up. So I think when he realized he couldn't get into the feed thing anymore, he kept sniffing around till he smelt. And you know what? I've noticed when I feed the cats right out the side door over here that I've had possums out there before. I don't remember actually ever seeing a coon out there. A coon, only one other time before in the past is a coon that I remember being on my porch, and that was a devastating, horrible situation because I had those kittens. There was 2 kittens in a kennel on this back porch, because nothing had ever been on the back porch before. And I come out, I heard something. I don't know what I heard. Maybe I just come to check them. I don't know. But I opened the door, and there was a coon eating one of those kittens. Rohan was the one that didn't get eaten. Rohan was in that kennel. He got brought in that night. The kennel got, it was the most horrible, and I had to do something about it right then. I couldn't leave it. And that coon had literally pulled that kitten through those real thin little rails, had pulled it through, and the only thing it wouldn't fit through was its head. So you can just imagine that was the most horrible situation that I had ever seen in my entire life of a death. And I never seen that coon again, ever. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that it wasn't out there somewhere, I've just never seen it again. But I have had possums come up and eat the cat food with the cats. I'm talking about like, this is my brother, meet my possum brother, because they just are eating with them. It's disgusting. Anyway, so I have to do it. So I may end up having that little sucker back out here again tonight. I don't know. I don't know how many times they get caught before they'll try not to come back. I don't think it matters to them, because look at has been at Jake's house and Daniel's house and Dad's house. They're catching them, you know, keep catching them in the act, and they run off, but they come back the next night and start again. So I don't really think nothing scares them. He was scared of me last night, and I was kind of scared of him. But I've got to, I guess, push boards all the way up till they touch the metal. It's the only way it's going to keep him out. Anyway, I don't know. But I'm going to have to work it. So if it's I'm cold right now. I took my jacket off now. I was hot in my jacket, sweating from working. Now I'm cold sitting here. But the TV's on loud in there. I can hear Levi talking to Laura, and I can hear her talking back, and the TV's loud. They're probably arguing about something. But I've got to get that done. I can't let some animal that could have rabies or some crud just keep coming on my porch. And the scariest thing about last night was because I left that door open so I could run back because I was scared I might have to run from him really fast. That little kitten come out. Dissa came running out. She comes running over here. He's hanging up there on the curtains. In fact, he tore that curtain. I can see it now. It's got a tear in it. And she comes running out, and I had to snatch her up, and then she tried to run from me over this direction toward the fireplace. And I'm just like, I'm wanting to eyeball him to see where he goes. I'm trying to catch her. So when I grabbed her and turned around, he had done moved his way down. And I guess that was about the time he decided he'd stick his head. And when his head went through, his whole body went through. And then me and her got our butts back in the house. And I don't think he came back after that. I heard him, I'm pretty sure he climbed down that, sort of just went off the edge up there and just fell, I guess, to the ground, to the deck out there. But I was pretty sure I heard him under the deck, under this porch deck. So I could hear him running, like that, sound in the dirt and the whatever's under there. Anyway, I gotta make sure I don't even want to see that again. Anyway, I'm gonna go in. But I am going to work on this in the next couple of days. So I can't have that again. All right, love you guys. God bless y'all, and I will see you later. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.